When we think about rhythmic timing in terms of music, it's almost like a zoom lens, right? Imagine that you can start all the way zoomed out and you see the whole sheet of music in front of you. Or maybe it's a lead sheet to some song and it's like a 32 bar form, jazz tune or something. You zoom in on that chart and you can start to see 8-bar phrases. From there you see individual measures. And then you get into notes, quarter notes, eighth notes, 16th notes. You're getting down into those little individual teeny tiny pieces. Today we're going to talk about those little pieces and we're going to call them subdivisions because that's what they're called. If you can really get your subdivisions dialed in, locked in, will take your playing to the next level. Level up. Maybe that's the title of this video. Level up your playing. Once you understand these subdivisions, you know how to identify them, how to count them, how to use them, how to lock in. Your playing is going to sound so precise and clean, you could eat off it. I wouldn't recommend eating off your instrument. That's dirty. Subdivision 1, quarter notes. The most basic subdivision is the beat, the pulse. In this case, we'll stick in 4 time. That means 4 quarter notes per measure. We're gonna think 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. If you're enjoying this educational music content, please like, comment, and subscribe so I can keep making it. Our next split, right? It's like a tree. Starts with the quarter notes. There's 2 eighth notes. Starts with the quarter notes at the top, and then they split. Split. There's 2 eighth notes. We count those like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and just playing a G right now. If you're playing along at home, on any instrument, really, I'm just playing a G. Eighth notes on G. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So our eighth note subdivisions, when you're playing quarter notes, you can think about those eighth notes. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Here's a great exercise on any instrument. Bass, guitar, saxophone, piano, hi-hat on the drums. If you go 1 and 2 and 3 and. What I'm doing, 1 and. Playing on the beat, stopping the note on the ands. That precise release of the note. There's one thing that can really set apart your playing. If you can be ultra precise and when those notes end. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Next, we're going to stick with that 2-note split from the quarter note, but this time they're not going to split evenly. What I'm talking about is swing. We're going to swing the eighths. Essentially what's happening is when we talk about swung eighth notes, that second eighth note, we have one on the beat. The second one is going to get pushed back a little bit closer to that next beat. Here's swung eighth notes. Let's lock in that swing feel real quick. 1, 2, ready. Oh. So the next split we're going to do is off of the straight eighths. 1 and 2 and. If we take each of those straight eighth notes, split them in half, right down the middle, we get 16th notes. The way you count 16th notes, 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and if you can get that train going in your head, 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and still just on that G. So where these subdivisions really start to set your playing apart is when you can lock in, especially those 16th note subdivisions, into a groove. Let's take something like 1 and 2 and 3 and So in that little rhythmic there, 1 and 2 and 3 and we have that last before beat 4. All of those notes I'm playing are exactly a 16th note in length. Meaning I'm stopping them. I'm in my head I got that 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and not only am I lining up the attacks with those 16th notes, I'm lining up the note ends. 1 E and a 2 E and 3 E and a 4 E and Another thing you can use your subdivisions for is slurring. On the bass or guitar or string instruments, it could be hammer-ons, pull-offs, slides, right? On any other instrument, it's just a slurred note. If you can get your slurs to be exactly precise with those subdivisions, because people tend to want to rush those slurred notes. Especially on the bass, piano too. My piano students always tend to want to rush slurred lines instead of locking in with that subdivision. Their fingers just want to race through it. Same with the bass, guitar. For instance, 1 E and a 2 and 3 E and a 4. 1 E, 2 and a 3 E and a 4 and a. Even if I slow it down, 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and. All I'm doing is a slap hammer on, but I'm trying to lock in with an even, precise 16th note subdivision. A great song example for those 16th note subdivisions is going to be Love Games by Level 42. We got Mark King laying down that classic vibe. All those precise 16th notes. And this song is actually perfect to transition into the final subdivision I'm going to talk about, which is swung 16ths. So we had 8th notes, swung 8th notes. 16th notes, now we have swung 16ths or 16th triplets. So when you're swinging 16th triplets, think about like a hi-hat pattern that's like, instead of you have like so you still got 1, 2, 3, 4, but underneath that you have 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Which in Love Games we have a little bit of that. The song is pretty straight, but we have this. Those are 16th note triplets. Now here's where you want to be mindful of what's happening around you in the music. He can get away with it there. No one else is playing 16th notes as consistently as he is. But that's kind of the key to these subdivisions, is being able to listen and hear what the other musicians around you or what the song you're listening to is what's happening, what exactly groove is going on. I hear a lot of people, they'll tend to get into a beat on the drums or something, and they'll kind of go back and forth between like swung 16ths and then straight 16ths. You want to try to keep that subdivision locked in. Find a place where you all kind of agree on it and it gels, and stick with it. Like, comment, and subscribe. If you like what you're seeing, let me know. Let me know what you want to watch. If you don't like what you're seeing, let me know anyway. Tell me what I did wrong. Tell me what you don't like. Tell me it's the worst video you've ever seen.